Hey guys, and welcome back to Sensory Overload. It's time to come to my senses today because we're talking about sexuality and how it literally almost took my life. I spent 8 years of my life hating myself. Literally, they tried to medicate me. Lacking men. I actually genuinely thought I would take my own life and I wasn't going to be able to accept it. And the policing got involved. The person that outed me was one of my closest friends. This is like honestly one of the most insane stories I probably could ever come up with. Obviously, given everything with my my whole upbringing, it wasn't pretty and it wasn't cute and it wasn't this movie moment that probably everyone else wants. But today, we're here with Ethan.
Hi, guys.
Ethan's just trialing. He might be my new assistant. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So fun.
You're going to see how he goes today. How was your day? How was your week?
Yeah, so good. Just been working away.
Ethan lives in like northern Sydney.
Yeah, northern beaches.
And the fact that you drove down here today is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, new opportunities.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You're also, I'm not even going to try and label you. You can tell us yourself. What's your sexuality?
Well, I mean, I used to think I was bisexual, but since dating a man, I think I'm more into men. So I'm more on the gay side.
A little bit on the gay side.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I downloaded this app, right? So I never used this dating app before. It's called Field, if anybody's ever used it before. It is one of the like most just life-changing apps I've actually been on. And I got myself so caught in this app. And like I discovered so much about like sexuality, like people's desires. I learned new sexualities that I didn't know existed. It was just like insane. There's have you ever heard of homoflexible?
No.
Or heteroflexible?
No.
It's a thing.
2025.
2025. I was like, wow. Maybe I'm one of those more. I was like, why does that kind of fit low-key? But pretty much like heteroflexible is like somebody that's obviously straight, but you know, maybe get a few drinks into them, they can swing a little bit to the left, you know, type of thing. But literally this app is like so insane.
Yeah.
Like you can just go on there and like there's couples, there's single people, there's people that are looking just for friends.
Oh, bit of everything.
Bit of fucking everything. And the people are kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like everyone on the other ones, I can't get around. But like the ones on Field, I was like,
but
wow.
most of them are straight, aren't they?
It's like an app where you can just like experiment
Yeah.
and like do whatever you want. Like people like chop and change, I guess, all the time. Actually, I remember Lucy Jackson was talking about it on her podcast when she was in New York or something. Always thought about it. And then wait, hang on. Like this is kind of a good app.
Yeah.
Like I can see why people are using it, low-key.
Yeah.
Obviously, sexuality is such a personal thing. And I think there's like a lot of misinformation about it and a lot of people that don't actually understand
how hard it is
to
come out.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like even just like coming to terms with it yourself and what it is like to have those doubts and have misconstruing thoughts in your head. A lot of people don't even know themselves and people put so much pressure on putting someone into a box and making sure that, oh my God, if you kiss a guy, you're automatically gay. You can never kiss a girl ever again. Like, it's just crazy. And I think even my story, I never opened up about it because it's so traumatic. The worst fucking time of my life. And I was sent to psychologists and psychiatrists and they tried to medicate me for lacking men. I know there's so many people out there that like message me and they're like, oh my God, you've helped me so much in my sexuality and being open about it. The actual thought process behind that to actually think people look up to someone else or are inspired by someone else for just being themselves is just like insane. And like makes me hate to think what they're probably dealing with behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Or their families. It's just like really sad, to be honest.
Well, social media has like such a big influence on our lives. But like, I don't know. I feel like coming out is so hard. So when you have someone that can relate to you, it's like, it just makes it so much easier.
I just can't wait for like the day you don't need to come out.
Yeah.
Because people don't assume you're just automatically heterosexual or you're this or that. And you can just love who you want to love.
Yeah.
And some of the stories I've heard from people that, you know, have been scared to come out to themselves and to other people have just been so sad. And even like a lot of the people I've dated, this is my own fault because I'm only attracted to like but like people that are in the closet watching them deal with the shit that they deal with, it's really fucking sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
That they feel like they can't be themselves and they hold this in. And honestly, it comes out in different areas. And I find that a lot of guys that aren't open with their sexuality or haven't accepted it usually cheat on the women that they're dating.
Yeah.
It's such a thing. So if your boyfriend's cheating, that man's gay. I'm kidding. But there is just so many layers to it. And I think this new generation that's coming through is so different. It's so much more evolved from what the previous generations are and what they have been. And I think there's like a turning point in like society where the old people are like kind of getting like, you know, what's that word? Like merged out. Like bred out. I don't know. Like they're just like, they're slowly dying.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's more accepting of someone's sexuality and like the things that they go through, and that it's not just a set box that you're in, and it's a spectrum and it can change. And everybody, well, majority of everybody has had that contemplation. I did a poll on my Instagram, which we're going to go into today, and the answers have surprised me so much. It actually astounds me. It just confirms that everyone's a little bit. You only came out 2 years ago. 2023.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And how was that experience for you?
Honestly, it was traumatic for me because I don't know, I didn't really know what everyone was gonna think of me after. But I mean, I came out in Europe by myself, solo traveling. Like, I was living my best life. But then, like, coming home, back to reality, I was like, oh, I've got to tell my family, got to tell my friends. And I don't know, that was like really scary.
What do you think your biggest fear was when you were?
Just like judgment and like that my family is not going to have the same like love for me.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was really hard.
Yeah.
Obviously it took like my dad, and my mum was pretty good, but it took my dad a little bit longer to kind of accept it. But I mean, he loves me, so he's stuck with me. I
think there's a lot of people before they come out or they come to terms with it, that's usually the scariest part, is like making that call.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's just where the journey begins.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like, you know, evolve into this new norm of what you are and who you are and how you present yourself to the world, and not having that wall up. And I don't ever think that wall ever goes away, because you're always in situations where you feel judged or you feel like you can't be yourself. I'm hoping that like me sharing my story and you sharing your story now is going to help people and going to give someone a new perspective. Because it's so confusing.
It is.
Mine's just crazy. And I can't believe I have this story to tell, because honestly, I don't know how I made it out. And I didn't think I was. I actually genuinely thought I would take my own life and I wasn't going to be able to accept it. And
well.
It was insane. But we just get into it.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I think from me coming to terms with my sexuality, or like just living life and taking it as it came, started very young. What? I would have been maybe like 5 or 6, wearing fucking like girly clips, and not to put gender on any item or object, but
like back then,
the closet was glass.
Yeah.
Like, I think now that I've like spoken to my family and like spoken to my mum's friends, the closet was clearly glass, but they always knew there was something and come out, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think to them, it wasn't ever going to be something that was out of the ordinary or crazy. But I remember when I was younger, and you might have experienced this as well, a lot of people would tell me that I was gay before I even knew what gay meant.
Yeah.
That was like such a foundational memory for me. The older kids, like in primary school, I was maybe in year 4.
Yeah.
And I remember this guy would always be like, you're gay. And I'd be
like, what even is that?
What even is that? I was like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And mind you, I lived in a small town. I've never come across a gay person at this point. Never in my life. Never knew what gay was.
Yeah.
I remember being...
You're not meant to when you're in 4.
No, but it was such like a backwards town where there was no openly gay people.
Yeah.
Not that I ever knew of. And the only time I ever heard about someone being gay was in a negative connotation, and people shat on it and people took the piss out of other people for being gay. So I always thought it was a negative thing. Yeah. Or I'd be in the school bus and be like, gay means happy. And I was like, yeah, I'm gay. As you start getting older, you go through adolescence and you
mature and you realize
that journey. You start kind of understanding it more.
Yeah.
But for me, growing up, there was never a safe space to ever experiment, explore, or come to terms with. I didn't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
There was no one to talk to. I never had a friend that was gay,
And no one could relate to you.
Even relate or try and come to terms with these thoughts that I was feeling.
Yeah.
I think it was like in year, maybe I was like 12 or 13. I thought gay meant you were transgender, like you wanted to be a girl. The whole idea that I conceptualized what gay meant or whatever that meant. And I think that came down to like the only person that I had seen was someone else at a different school, and they were a drag queen, and they would wear like long hair and like do makeup and stuff. And I was like, oh.
And that was in high school?
Yeah, this is like
around like year 7.
Yeah. So I was like 12. Thing I could like relate to was, this person is gay and they want to be a woman. That's what it meant to me. That as a little 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So I thought for a period of time that I was transgender. Like I actually thought that that's just what you had to be if you were attracted to men.
Yeah.
Was wanted to be a girl. I remember having the thoughts of being like, oh, like life would just be so much easier if I was a girl.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like looking back on that now, you're obviously like, oh my God, like
that's not what it is.
Poor Bill was thinking he has to be a girl.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could conceptualize. And then I think even like that trickles down to when you do start experimenting. I know a lot of my friends that I've spoken to, they experiment with older men, go down paths that aren't healthy or safe. And that's just what they think that they're meant to do. That's the only way that they can even in experimenting, I guess, in their sexuality. Throughout like high school, obviously, I would constantly get told I was gay. I never could understand like fully because it was still confused me because I was still attracted to women.
Yeah.
But then
like you didn't know yourself.
I had no idea.
You were still confused.
I had no idea. And I didn't have any like influences. I didn't have any role models. I didn't have anything that related to me. So it was so confusing from like the periods of literally like year 7 to maybe like year 10. I couldn't even tell you that the mind fuck that I was experiencing trying to understand how sexuality works.
Yeah.
I think I was like 14 was the first time I ever experimented with another guy.
Yeah, wow.
This is where I think the lines get blurred and where it gets like really confusing because I was this is going to be like a trigger about like sexual assault, but I never realized how much this actually affected me until like a lot later in life. I think like obviously when you see porn or whatever, a lot of it's like so rough and not real.
Being intimate with a man.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought that's like
how it's meant to be.
That's how it's meant to be. And I was at a sleepover one time and I was asleep. I woke up to someone else touching me.
Yeah, wow.
And I just thought that's how sex started. Like,
yeah.
Like I just thought that's like how it happened. And it was so confusing because I had like all these different rushes of emotion and whether I was into it or not. And like I was so confused at this time. And I can understand now, like after I went through this experience and going through it, I can understand how people create like emotional attachments to their abusers. Because this went on, I think I'd say for like months.
With the same
person.
Yeah, well.
I still couldn't comprehend it at all. I remember the first time it happened and I hated it and I wanted it to stop so bad. And then obviously, this sounds weird, but when you like post-nut clarity happens, I remember like trying to push this person off and them keep going. And I was feeling so sick because they just kept trying to go and force me to do things. And I remember being so scared
and uncomfortable
that I didn't know if I like liked it. I enjoyed it. I couldn't grasp it at all.
Yeah.
And I think after that experience, that was my whole ideology of how people perceived. Yeah. Really, really, really deep. I think like with my childhood growing up as well, sex was never like a consensual thing. Like I went through a lot of traumatic things between like my mum and dad and seeing a lot of things that I just shouldn't have seen at a young age. And I genuinely just thought, you just gave yourself, like that's just like you just said yes.
Like you didn't know you had to give consent.
Yeah, I didn't know what consent was.
Yeah.
I think that was like the start of like a very unsafe sexual experience for me where I ran so far away from my sexuality after that.
Yeah.
The thought of me actually liking that or understanding that was just too much for me to deal with. That these things don't go away. Like I eventually had to deal with it. I was in a behavioral program. But I was like not a naughty kid, but I had ADHD. I couldn't focus in school. So they put me in this behavioral program and they would send you away. I don't even know what it was. It was like in the middle of like a park that had like a little room And all the bad behaved kids pretty much would go into this thing.
Yeah.
And I would think it was the best thing. This is so cool. I'm like hanging in school. Like, this is so good. But like, imagine you're there like with like another 8 of the worst behaved kids in your school.
Yeah.
I actually think one of the program leaders for that actually went to jail for.
Oh.
Yeah, for sexual assault and
pedophilia or something.
Yeah.
Or just.
But there was a guy there in that program, kind of like in the same way that happened the first time, would touch me and would do these things. I think I grew this like trauma bond with this person because I thought that was attraction, and that we would talk for months and months. And like obviously, I was like 15 at this time. We would have like obviously sexual interactions. This guy would do this stuff in front of other people. Would grab my private parts, grab my cock, like touch me in front of people in the bus on the way. That just do all those things that you probably like, can't even consent at 15 years old.
Yeah,
I kind of just like put it all behind, and I think that was he was the first ever guy that I ever sent like a nude to.
Yeah.
Me not knowing, I had no idea. He had screenshot it. Yeah, saved the photo.
Yeah.
A year and a half go by. I remember his stepsister came up to me at school once and was like, "Oh, I've seen the photo." And I was like, "What photo?" Like, what do you mean? I still didn't think he would have done that.
Yeah.
I thought we had this, little bond, I guess. But at this point, I still was not open with my sexuality, and I was not willing to open up about it.
Yeah. So basically you were outed.
Not even yet.
Not even yet.
Not even yet. This is not even the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, well.
I don't know what the fuck I was, why I felt the need to hide my sexuality or hide that. And everybody else around me, like everyone in my school, would talk about like them sending news to someone. Like I didn't think it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Mind you, this guy's like, we're in the same class, like in this behavioral program. While all of this is happening, I still was obviously contemplating, and understanding my sexuality, but I was starting to like kind of conceptualize what it meant and who I was attracted to. And I still never felt like I fit into a straight, bisexual, gay, any label. Yeah. I never felt comfortable telling people about it or being open to people.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to obviously when people would ask, I would just say like, "Oh no, I'm straight." Like, because I still was attracted to women.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids obviously are subconsciously going through that in school. And it wasn't until I was in school one day, our school captaincies, you'd do them in year 11.
Yeah.
I dropped out of school at 16. At the start of year 11, you'd like nominate who you wanted to be school captain. And by this point, I really wanted to like make a difference. And I remember what I went through in that behavioral program. Now that person's, I wanted to create something of my own. And I had all of these ideas, and because I was such a bad kid, like I was like, there's no way that I'm going to even be allowed to.
Yeah.
And I was on like red cards and yellow cards and fucking orange cards all the time, all the fucking time. We had them all. When it came down to like me, like pitching this to the school, I need to like come to terms with it. And I did it in a way that obviously was very vague. It was very clear if you read like back my speech, hinting at like the demons I was fighting at such a young age that, came out in different ways of my behavior and the ways I functioned. I ended up getting school captain.
Oh, wow.
Which was
so cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There was one person that, I don't know if they ran, but they were like in our friend group. They were one of my closest friends at one time that didn't get it. I think I was away on a holiday. I was seeing my family or something. And I get a call from the school being like, "Oh, there's something that could be really harmful to Billy's reputation."
Yeah.
Anyway, I get back to school. I'm like fully interrogated. This person has, from what I'm aware of, has gone back to the school. But there's actually a whole another story to this. We were in a group chat, and so they said something about the principal. My school was like Nazi as well, by the way. Like it was a public school, but it was like Nazi. Some of the kids said something crazy about like, "Oh, the principal's such a fucking bitch." And one of the other school captains went to the school about it. So I was in trouble for that because I wasn't the one that went there. This person, they went to school. This is Billy's nudes. pretty much, and they were sent to a guy. I got fully interrogated. They questioned my friends. They questioned my family. They called the police. All of this going down, and they would not tell me a single thing on what was happening, why, who said it, what photo it was. And it wasn't until the police got involved that I had to give a statement, and I actually got to see the evidence and what was put out there. The rumors that started after that, I'll go to school and there'll be teachers talking about it. There was no other guys that were like pretty much openly gay.
Yeah.
Or if they were, they definitely were not sending nudes.
Yeah.
It got so misconstrued, and it got so twisted to what had actually even happened.
Yeah.
All these kids at school started talking about it. All the teachers were talking about it. Everyone was making up rumors, things that just weren't even happening. It got to the point where I just did not want to be at school. I got suspended for sending explicit photos.
How did you feel coming back to school?
But I felt like everybody was watching me. Everybody had something to say. Everybody was saying something. And mind you, at this point, the police had taken my phone for 9 weeks.
Yeah, well.
Almost a whole school term.
Were they doing like an investigation, or was that like a punishment?
Whole investigation.
Yeah.
And at this time, this is when I first started social media and I started YouTube.
Yeah. So you kind of needed it.
That, but also guess I started getting a little bit of a following in my hometown. You know, there was kids that would make fan accounts of me. There was edits and stuff. And then I'd go be on the bus and oh my God, I watch your YouTube videos. That school went to every single person that had ever made any edit of me, had made any comment on my Instagram photos, had made anything to do with me. They tried to villainize me.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Got my phone back. Nothing ever fucking happened because there was fucking nothing on there. There was literally nothing. That photo that was shared, I was underage. And this was a year and a half prior. But for me, it wasn't even what had happened. It was the fact that everybody had some sort of fucking thing to say about me and some sort of rumor and something that was not true, and they'd spread it. That was the hardest part. And obviously, I've just been outed now. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Bill's gay and Bill's into guys.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, the guy that outed me then came out as gay 2 years later. There was TikToks. There was everything made about me. I literally felt like the whole world was crumbling. And it got so dark. And I remember I started going to a psychologist, and oh my God, I'm getting a bit teary. But I started going to a psychologist. None of it helped. I still felt like I couldn't fathom talking about it for months and months and months.
Yeah.
I'd go home and I'd avoid my family at all costs because I didn't want to talk about it. I did not want to, mention it because I felt like that's not normal. That's bad.
Like you were letting them down kind of thing.
Not even letting anyone down. I felt like I don't even know. I don't think there's any rational thoughts behind it, but I really just felt like nobody would like me because I was gay.
Yeah.
And which I'm using the term gay as a general concept myself, consider myself bisexual.
Yeah.
To everybody else, I was just gay. And because I'd heard such negative things about that, I just always felt like everybody was judging me. This point forward, my relationship with men just was never the same. I was always scared of what they thought. Any conversation, I'd feel so awkward with a man. And I went to therapy. I was dealing with therapy. I still could not heal. And mind you, it wasn't until this year that I went to therapy again, where I even talked about it again because of how traumatic it was for me to start coming to terms with my sexuality. And I still think then, I dropped out of school after that, and I still, with anybody that would ask me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I just don't believe in labels.
Yeah.
I hated it, and I thought people would have something to say, want to hurt me or treat me differently.
Yeah.
Even then, the amount of, this happened all 7 years ago now. There's still people from my hometown that talk about it.
Yeah.
And still people that have the most fucked up
ideas and
rumors.
Yeah.
Things that have never happened. And every time, I might get cancelled on the internet or whatever from people that I don't even know.
Yeah.
I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
People that are still in school. I'm like, bro, you would have been in primary school.
Yeah.
But I guess that's obviously the price that you pay when you put yourself out there on the internet.
Yeah.
From that point forward, I was able to be myself, but it was just the start of the journey of what my sexuality was actually going to lead me to. I never even, and it was just kind of, even like to my friends and family, I never told them, oh yeah, I'm gay.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever, you guys. Everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Like, I just like acted as if it was normal.
Yeah.
Which I think like also is like a blessing and a curse. One, even get outed is crazy.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I didn't go through that.
It's actually fucked. And even I think the person that outed me was one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And did that to me. And even like would message me while they had a boyfriend, tell me that I'd be a good bottom.
Ew.
Like, so
yeah.
so fucking gross. And like I've had to threaten people with like legal stuff.
Yeah.
On how fucked it had gotten at that point. I think when I left that country town and I moved to the Gold Coast, it felt so freeing.
Yeah.
To be like, fuck, nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
But also I feel like there'd be like more people to relate to you up there because you're like out of like a small country town, you're going to a big city.
Yeah.
Like, so many more people to relate to.
So many people. And
yeah. I
was able to talk to other guys and be like, oh my God.
This is great.
You know, they know nothing about me.
Yeah.
And I don't have an idea, a presumption of me before we even talk.
Yeah.
And I think even now, like, it's so strange to me because I'm fucking one of the guys from my hometown that was like one of my bullies.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say bullies, but like his friends were one, like quite a few of my bullies. And now that like, I don't know if I'm seeing him. I don't know. I think it's just very like friends with benefits type vibe. But the amount of people that I know also struggle with their sexuality in this town.
Yeah.
Just like, it's crazy.
I feel like it's like a thing in like small country towns that people like struggle with their identity and sexuality.
I think because it's so small as well. You don't have that confidence you don't have that confidence to be open about it and explore it. Everybody is like judging. Like, I remember when I was in the first school I went to, I got grabbed, like literally I was just sitting there waiting for my bus, just with my friends, nothing. And a guy comes, grabs me by the throat and slams me on the back of the lunch table. And is just going off at me, like calling me a gay cunt.
Yeah, wow.
The stereotypes of a small town. And that shit always happened to me. And I never felt safe to ever go to school or ever go out in public.
Yeah.
Because of what I would think people would do.
Yeah.
And there was never any like repercussions or no one ever fucking did anything. And there was even I changed schools and was walking home like from the bus, and I got off the bus, I had to transfer to another bus, and like one of these guys that never spoken to my life, never had a conversation with them ever in my life, never knew nothing about them, just come over, walk past me and poured a whole Monster Energy drink all over the top of me in front of everybody at this school bus. And I think the hatred got like so much that it made me want to run away.
Yeah.
And not be a part of like anything to do with that town.
Yeah.
It annoys me now because I go back to that town and people treat me so differently and try and treat me like they knew me or know of me. Imagine I had maybe like proper friends, 6 friends in school that I was actually had any deep conversations with.
Yeah.
And they're all girls. Yeah. I had one like guy best friend in school. I can see how, like, because I've experienced it firsthand. I see how people can't come to terms with their sexuality. And
yeah. Also, there's a stereotype around like, so you're saying that you're in a group of like 6 of you, and they were all girls. I feel like if you like had just like predominantly female friends, then you were gay.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Even with me at school, like I had so many girls as friends.
Yeah.
And that was the norm. Like you're gay if you have this girlfriend.
But I never felt comfortable being around guys.
Yeah.
They never made me feel like I was able to be myself. They'd slam me against a fucking lunch table.
Yeah.
I had like a bigger group of friends in like later on in high school.
Yeah.
And still then there would have been maybe 7 guys, maybe like 7 girls. There was 14 of us, maybe in this big group. And like even in this big group, I was only friends with like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they were all girls. I think going through all of that, just tried to push it so far away and tried to, not even tried to, I had all these implications with my relationship with men that it didn't feel right to be friends with them.
Yeah.
They were fucking weirdos. And I did not like them. But it goes into the bigger picture of what sexuality is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't been here for fucking 50 years. But I've spent like the last 10-ish years truly exploring my sexuality and understanding it. And the journey still hasn't ended.
Yeah. And
there's still so far and so long for me to go.
Yeah.
That I think for other people that are going through it, it's something to relate to, and it's something to can kind of maybe give people context on the struggles of what it is like dealing with your sexuality. And I mean, the first AFL player has just come out as bisexual.
Yeah.
Which is it's such a prominent factor in the media at the moment.
Yeah.
There is so many people that do struggle with their sexuality.
Yeah.
But because of, as a society, we don't feel comfortable, and it's not something that is talked about enough.
Yeah.
So many people don't want to explore it and don't want to conceptualize how that might look for them. And I did a poll on my Instagram because I really wanted to understand how,
like the statistics.
The statistics, and all the statistics online are so black and white. You're either gay, straight, bisexual, maybe, if they want to be really conventionally different.
Yeah.
And I want to know what the statistics are for people that are struggling with their sexuality, have contemplated their sexuality, have had sexual experiences with people of the same sex.
Yeah.
And it's actually shocked me so much. Are you ready? Did I tell you them before? I think I only told you one.
Yeah.
So I asked people on my story, I said, have you ever questioned your sexuality outside of being straight at any point in your life? So I put in a few answers where it wasn't just like yes or no.
Yeah.
I said, yes, I have. I have, but I've never actioned. It's crossed my mind. Not at all. Now, people that are listening right now, I just want you to get a number inside your head and maybe think of what you think. Get a number inside your head and what % of people haven't questioned their sexuality at all other than being straight. They've just always known. Only 26% of my followers haven't questioned their sexuality. That means 74% of people have either like struggled with their sexuality, questioned themselves.
Yeah, well.
Which is a massive statistic. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I also asked, how do you identify your sexuality? Straight, gay, curious / confused, or bisexual? Only 55% of people were straight or class themselves as straight.
So 45% were.
Yeah. Were either gay, bisexual, or confused, which is.
That's still a lot.
Massive.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely massive. And I think this is where people also get confused. You can be straight and still experiment.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to put yourself into a box and
if
cast
you can
yourself.
try it, and if you don't like it, well then.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Like, you're not bisexual because you've had an experience with the same sex.
I remember when I used to like talk to a lot of closet guys, and they would always have the, oh, but I'm not gay, And I'd always say, like, bruh, you can change a fucking tire and the car doesn't make you a mechanic. Like,
yeah.
You can do so many things. Doesn't make you that one thing.
Yeah.
At all. I then asked, have you ever had a sexual experience with someone of the same sex? What do you reckon the statistic? I can't say the word statistic. What do you reckon the stats are? Of people that have.
I reckon it's pretty high. Maybe like 70 to 80%.
So 56% of people have.
Oh, they have.
Or have been open to it. only 44.
Not as high as I thought.
No, only 44% have not, which is great. I think that's like so much higher than what I was expecting as well.
Yeah.
Because I think people like, I mean, who knows if people are actually being honest? But who bloody knows? Next question was, do you have people in your life that are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community? What do you reckon the percentage of people are that don't have anybody in their life?
Don't have anyone?
Yeah. Like
pretty low. I'm going to say like 20%.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be like 2%.
Oh, okay.
Surely everyone has like a gay uncle or someone in their life. But no, it was only 10% of people don't have anybody a part of that community.
Wow.
In their life, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask, like, do you see someone differently because of their sexual orientation? And now this is a really good statistic. And it was 96 people don't see you differently, which is so confirming that a lot of the stuff that we go through in coming to our sexuality is so it's all in our heads.
We stress for no reason.
Right? Like no one actually gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And you can be like who you want. And no one really cares.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares. I also put up a question box that was like, what would you say to someone who is struggling to accept their sexuality? And I wanted to just see what would the advice be that they would give to their friends who are struggling with this.
Yeah.
And literally every single person was like, you have one life. There's no next one. Do what you like, love what you love.
Yeah.
The longer you pretend to be someone else, the more lost you become.
Yeah.
If you don't truly love yourself, you cannot love somebody else.
Yeah. Like don't pretend to be like someone that you're not. I feel like you just gotta accept who you are.
You don't need to check a box. You don't need to fit the stereotype. Love and connection never needs anyone else's approval. It's your life, not theirs. Don't hide it. Be yourself. The people who have a problem with it, that is their problem. This is also another thing I want to touch base on.
Yeah.
The people that have a problem with someone's sexuality are usually the ones that are usually the
closeted.
Ones
they're the ones
that are closeted.
They're struggling
and have those same issues. Projection at its finest.
Yeah. Like figure yourself out before you like come for me.
Literally, and your man's homophobic is probably gay.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, some of the struggles are so obvious.
Yeah.
And you can go through rejection, bullying, discrimination, all of those things.
Yeah.
I spent 7-8 years of my life hating myself, hating the person that I was, and hating who I thought people would think I would be, and hating everything about what I was so scared to open up about, that the only person that really did any harm to me was myself. I think anybody that is going through maybe sexual orientation differences, struggles, whatever it might be, at the end of the day, it's only you that is...
It's affecting.
It is affecting.
Yeah.
You're the only person that's going to be hurt at the end of this. There's just no pressure. And I think anybody that has a friend that is going through it, I think the biggest thing you can do is be supportive.
Yeah.
And don't pressure somebody. Don't make them feel like they have to come to a realization.
Yeah.
But let them figure it out and be there for them.
Yeah.
When they do figure it out.
I think friends and family are the most important thing. Like you need friends and family to kind of you need to be open with them and like go through those emotions with them, and like I don't know, it's important.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
And now I can talk about sucking dick and cock with my nan and my aunties, and like no one bats an eyelid. They don't care.
That's normal.
That's like normal nowadays. It's just like, thank God.
Yeah.
But it is so fucking scary.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a bigger issue here. And I'm praying that people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, sexuality isn't about who you love. It's about who you are and what you're learning in this world. And it doesn't revolve around your sexual intentions or your sexual this and that.
Yeah.
It's just who you are as a human.
Yeah. And embrace it.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
We are all the fucking same. We all go through so many of the same struggles that you probably wouldn't even think that other people go through.
Yeah.
Maybe have a conversation with a friend and like talk about them, because I can guarantee you there's so many conversations I've had with friends to be like, oh, like, yeah, they've struggled with their sexuality as well.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy, because you never talk about it.
No.
You never talk about it. But I just want to say thank you so much for listening, guys. Sorry, this was a really deep. Thank you so much for Ethan for being here, because I would have been lost in my own fucking thoughts and own words. I can't get a good sentence out on a good day, let alone talking about like a subject like this.
Yeah. No,
thank you.
So good.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye, bitch.